What's up, Rockstars? How's it going? Today I have a quick unboxing for you. Well, quick, I haven't opened this yet. It might be 3 hours long. You never know. I do have a knife in my hand and a big box, so you guys know what's coming up. Let's unbox this. Thank you to my channel sponsor Into the AM. As a company that believes hard work and a great product is a proper way to conduct business, I am delighted to have them as part of the channel. They have some of the coolest graphic t-shirts around and an absolute best fit and feel that has continually exceeded my expectations. With new shirts arriving all the time and other products like boxers, hats, and even a monthly shirt club, I wholeheartedly recommend them to you. Check out the link in my description of this video for an exclusive 10% off everything they sell. Now, as always, a huge shout out to my patrons and YouTube members. It is through their financial support that this channel is possible. It is because of them that I can cover the exact games I want, to the depth and the style that I want to cover them, so that I can help, hopefully, inform you guys to make a good decision when it comes to where to put your hard-earned money. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and open this up and see if this is one of them. This is a game I covered, I want to say, in my yearly video back in 2019, I believe. Actually, it's been a while. This is, I believe, 4 years in the making. It now even looks different than it used to look, like artistically. But I believe the gameplay has just been fine-tuned and stuff like that. I do have some rules available to me, so I'll be playing this. I'll be reviewing this for you guys. We've got a variety of different shipping things going on here. We got some boxes here. This is part of the fun of prototypes, right? It's like look at all this empty space here. When I send the prototypes out to you guys, I try to take up less space if I can. I don't necessarily use the box that they send it to me, because stuff like this is probably a little pricey. But it definitely, this is interesting. I kind of dig this. It's a good recycle use. It even has labels on it and everything. Every single prototype I get is always so different. I really do enjoy seeing how different these all are. Okay, all that's out of the way. I think that's empty. Yep, so we got 3 boxes here. We have this box, and it almost looks like I opened it upside down, or they packed it upside down, but they put the label on here, so I figured this was the top. And another box here. Ooh, definitely upside down. And then this box here, let me be careful about that. You can see that, oh, this one's heavy. Okay. So now we're going to flip this over very carefully. There we are. Malhya, Lands of Legends. This will be pretty cool prototype edition. That's fairly obvious just by looking at it. Good coloration though. My goodness, that is bright. All right, let's go ahead and get situated, a little bit more zoomed in, get this box out of the way. I'll see you there. All right, let's go ahead and dive in. I love, by the way, just commenting on this a little bit more, the characters here, and then you have like this, I guess, big bad guy, perhaps, some kind of monster, really. But this is the highlight for me. It's just, it says so much adventure. I love the set of adventures, how small they are, this rolling hills, and then this forest area, and then mountain area, and then the city. It kind of gives you a big, kind of progression, like plains, forest, city, mountain, which is kind of cool. This is very Lord of the Rings askew with the tiered city, but I'm not gonna like hate on it for it because I think that's awesome. But really, this is fairly believable, except that there's no farmland outside, right? I mean, how are you gonna feed those people? But besides that, this just it just looks nice. Like, it makes me want to be one of those guys heading into that city for who knows what kind of adventures. I think that's really, really awesome. So let's go ahead and see what we got here. Let's see, we got a piece of paper. Okay, so there's that. Most important thing here is probably Kickstarter, March 15th. You can go ahead and pause it and read that if you want. I'll read it afterwards, so by the time you read it, I know what it says, but I don't know what it says right now. Then we got some different art here, and this is all really, really cool looking. Now, I will say it's pretty muted, right? I talked about the color a little bit on that cover. There's a little bit of damage here, but this is all very gray, if that makes sense. But I do like the treasure chest there, and I mean, even that's like a muted gold, right? It's not like it's like really like bright and in your face or anything like that. I have an A2 on here, which is kind of interesting. These are really red, so you definitely know places you can't go to. That might actually need to be toned down a little bit. You don't want it looking too gamey either, and that's fairly thick red. But you want to be able to see it too. Here's some interesting stuff. This is some light shining in here. However, I don't really see a lot when it comes to like shadows or anything like that per se. There is some darkness here though. Looking at this, and I don't know what, like, here's a C2 here. I don't know what all this is really about either. Okay, like, can you fit these in? Is that how it works? Can you, like, that's not even big enough. That one is, so. But the angle is wrong. So this one has an angle going down, this one has an angle going down. So, I'm not sure exactly what the solution is to that. There's some green on this one, but again, fairly muted green, even a muted kind of red gold here. And this looks like it's casting a shadow, so that's kind of cool. But then this one isn't casting any shadow. Let's see, we got some like water elements. That's pretty bright, actually. And then I like how it's not just a clean cut thing there. This one looks cool. So in this one, like it has like a broken part here, but it looks like there's depth because you see like this water is going into that. Actually, looking closely, it looks like there's like a little bit of a cliffside here. So this is down below. This is lower. I think a little bit more use of like proper shadows can really sell that a little bit more. But I really like the idea of looking down and seeing a level lower than that. I think that's really cool. And this is a different wall than everything else. That's interesting. Some chains coming down. I like that. That's a nice touch. That looks pretty cool. The design on the this very fancy area here for sure. Let's see. We got some. Looks like we got some. I love prototypes. They're always so different. Some character boards here. Double-sided. Look at that. Even in the prototype, which is always cool. Literally just two boards glued together, right? So this one and then this one. It looks like the art supports it really well. I am liking. So there are slots for weapon, ability, artifact, and people. That's kind of interesting. This would be nice almost, I think, if it was double-sided as well, or even just a groove in both of them, right? Either way, where the card kind of stuck in there. It might actually make sense to have them so they're flat, have it just both of them have it edged out like that. I don't know how much more that is. Kind of like how this is right here, right? Same kind of thing there. The art looks nice. It got a nice little symbol here called the Ancient. You can read that well. Each of these are labeled. That's nice. Strength, dexterity, sense, intelligence, knowledge. They all have symbols inside. Super helpful. I think they all kind of make sense. Perhaps not this dexterity. It's like a hand with a water droplet in there or something. Something kind of odd. Not my go-to one. Red shows up good. Yellow shows up good. This kind of copper, orangish, brownish kind of color shows up really good. These show up well as well, and there's some nice contrast there within them, but the blue and the purple are a little close. Like seeing them together, I can get them. Seeing them apart, maybe not so much, except they do have that symbol, so that is very helpful. The purple could perhaps be darkened slightly or edged more into the purple, more into the kind of reddish purple, less in the bluish purple. Perhaps that'll solve that a little bit. And again, that's just me being slightly colorblind, but I can see it fine. Like it should be okay, especially with the symbol here. I like now they have the numbers. I mean, you could count, but it's still nice to have that. Let's see, they have some reminders here and some special skill, all symbol based. Rock climbing plus helmet equals good job, I guess. The initiative track here, or how much initiative you have, your movement, and then I'm assuming this is like the gems. I'm assuming you like pick these up and place them in different spots, perhaps. I don't know. I'll have to see. Oh wow. Okay, this is cool. I love the art here. That looks really nice. I love the style of it too. It looks like an adventure book kind of thing. Oh, it's the same in the background there. Are they all? Yeah, see, he's got a different background here. So this is Urberg. Different symbol here. Different special skill. Looks like everything else is about the same values of everything. And oh yeah, sure enough. This is kind of interesting. So you see, like, this looks like a bird, right, with the beak and everything, but it's like a building on the side of a cliff, and then there are birds in the background. That's cool. We got Sulk. Hopefully he doesn't sulk too much. Another symbol here. Another special skill. He hates helmets, I guess. Less movement. So this is different, right? So this guy has 3, 4, 5. And oh, look at this, actually. There are different values. This guy has 5, 6, 7, 8. That's interesting to see. So not only is there more available, but they're at a higher value as well, or a higher cost. I don't know. But then here, his initiative goes up to 7. His initiative goes up to 9. Very interesting. So definitely different stats. Even if these, oh, look, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. It might look more uniform, but they start at different values. That is interesting. It'll make it to where you really need to pay attention to this number. So I'll see how that is in gameplay. It might almost, I don't know. It just depends. It might make more sense to have 5. That's the highest. And he just never has one or something. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how much I remember that. And then, oh yeah, let's look at his. Again, with the like buildings on the side of a cliff thing. That's really interesting. That's a cool choice. And it looks like even, oh, they live inside of the building too. Very cool. I like how different it is. I really appreciate that. And then Yoktul. Again, different values everywhere, different special skill, different symbol. And it looks like a more human imperial-esque kind of thing. This looks cool because this looks like a clock, does it not? With like the two hands here. I wonder if that is some kind of interesting shield. That's for sure. Yeah, very human-esque here, I think, with the wall and the drawbridge and stuff like that. That's really cool. The plains. I love seeing the nature around each city. That's neat. All right, so that's that. Let's go and move that over here. I'm assuming all the minis are in the other ones. Looks like here we have a secondary board that you'll have. I bet it fits in because I see the little notch here. So it would fit in. Come on, let me see. Looks like kind of like that. Interesting. I wonder why they don't just, unless these are all the same, just make one big board. Like, why make the two different boards? I don't know. Do you only play with one or the other? If not, it might just make sense to make the two. Perhaps it's just too complex to cut this plus this, because looking at this now, not only does it have the, different shapes and all that, but it actually has like holes straight through it, right? So I don't know exactly what necessarily goes here. Let's like a little cube here, some cubes here. And then again, there's a symbol there. It's the same for everybody by the looks of it. I'm not really seeing a difference on anything. A whole bunch of different reminders. They're all symbol based, so a lot of symbols. So I'll be sure to mention that and see how that is. I love the leather bound book look to it though. That's really cool. It doesn't necessarily match this because this isn't leather bound, but I do like that. It looks nice. It looks like you would have a little area here for your ranged and lockpicking and potions and who knows what else. Looks like they're all the same there, and no back. All right. Looks like we have more map tiles, or different kinds of map tiles, more like it. Get rid of that. That didn't do much. Let's take a look here. Oh, yeah, we do have more maps. So these are Z10. These are just big areas here. And again, kind of a muted look to it, but it looks really nice. And there is some good contrast, too, which is kind of nice. These are skinnier red. So this is probably closer to what I think it should be, perhaps. As you can see, it's much skinnier here than on the other one. And they do have these little grid lines, and they do go from black to white. So they've definitely had some time to kind of work on this, I can tell. The depth looks cool. You can look straight down into the well there. Put a little like creepy eyes or something there, right? We got this. I don't even know what. So this is just looks like one person's, perhaps. Oh, it's like double-sided. Interesting. So this is dual layered in a double print here. I don't know what all of this is, but there's two sides to it here. And again, a lot of symbols. I'm not seeing, there's no text on any of this. The numbers are the closest you get. Kind of an interesting kind of path thing. Very interesting. I'm assuming this has something to do with you like delving into the dungeon or something like that. A few connector pieces. Again, we do have the names in there. Thicker red line now again. The door is built into there, so there'll always be a door there. And it looks like you could probably... kind of a change in color there. I wonder if that always leads to a different room or something. I mean, interesting. Interesting. So some more connector pieces. There's even more map here. Let's move these cards out of the way. Let's get rid of, like, let's finish something. Let's finish the map. Oh, this is the entrance or exit there by the looks of it. I like that. I can dig that. I wonder, does it sort of, kind of go like that maybe? Or even like that? I don't know. These are wider, right? Than these stairs. So I doubt it goes like that. That's kind of interesting. Another connecting piece here. Oh my gosh, so many maps. Lots of variety here. This is a nice one. This is way different by the looks of it, as you can see. Very cool. And they have, again, these little yellow versus... So it looks like you can probably stand on the tables, would be my assumption, versus you can't stand on the bookshelf and stuff like that. Be my guess there. We got another... This is a little puzzle piece here. It goes into something probably like that by the looks of it. Imagine there's another side of it somewhere, perhaps. I don't know. Gosh, so many different dungeon tiles here. So let's see. We got some dice. We got some cubes. We got more cubes. We got tokens, guys. This is quite the prototype. Looks like some more connecting pieces. Oh, you can overlay it with the door open. We'll take a look at that. More cubes and tokens. More cubes and tokens. We have, what is this? The exploration booklet. My goodness. So this looks like how you would kind of set up the different tiles and whatnot. Totem chain well, fresco entrance exit. Very cool. Man, see, that looks awesome. I love that. I love the side rooms and everything too. That's kind of nice to see. There's outside areas you can go to, though a lot of it is kind of dungeon delving by the looks of it. Very cool. Very cool. All right, they got a north. Kind of interesting. That guy is a thing. Oh my goodness, it's like a crocodile alligator gar from hell is what that is. No, thank you. Secrets of the Fortress of Shadows demonstration scenario. Love the art. I dig this art style. I really do. Looks nice. Okay, this looks like essentially. Oh no, this is like a story-based thing here. Though it looks like there's mechanics for like pull upward and stuff like that, or different tests that you can do and results based off your tests and all that. Very interesting to see. Oh yeah, you begin to scrutinize it. This reminds me of Arena the Contest with their puzzles, their riddles and stuff like that. You would see something and have to kind of notice something in the image or something like that. A little bit of Chronicles of Drunagar too. Oh, look at that, a freaking maze. Oh, this look at this. I love these kind of things. I'm so glad to see this. Awesome. Okay, well, we're not going to spoil anymore, but that looks like a lot of fun to me. Like, that's not just combat. This is different, too. This is the other puzzle piece here. Looks like something could go in there, even. Looks like we have, like, it's like a timeline thing by the looks of it. Very cool. Wow. Okay. And then finally, an overhead map. It looks like it's just this for now. At least, obviously, there's a lot more that could go into this. You can see the different areas. I don't know what the little number underneath is. Maybe an item level or something like that. We got the water. We have small little things here and forests and mountains and plains. Just like what I said. Looks like some swamp area as well. Very cool. All right, that's interesting. It looks like probably, like, see how these are connected? Whereas, like, this isn't. So you can go here by the looks of it, but probably not here. Huh. Okay, well, that is cool. All right, let's look at some of these cards and some of these minis. All right, let's go ahead and start with some cards here. It looks like there's not actually a whole lot of cards. I'm going to go ahead and open everything and then take a look at it just so we can kind of zoom through all this, right? Kind of the whole point. But so I've played Bad Karmas now, and it did make me realize how much cards you can get in some games. And I love cards, I really do, but they add a ton of weight and bulk. Like, I pick up a card-heavy game, and it weighs so much more than a miniature game. Now, obviously, right now, with shipping and stuff like that, it is really the size of the box more than the weight. The weight does still play a role in that. And I don't know, just storing it and moving it around, lugging it around. Like, the reason Gloomhaven is so heavy isn't because it has minis, right? It's because of all those cards. Same with even Kingdom's Monsters, stuff like that. They weigh a lot. So when you don't have them, you're like, wow, there's like hardly anything here. This is a decent amount of cards, but it's not unrealistic either. So this is all symbols. 100% symbols here. Looks like all the same background. We have, gosh, I don't even know necessarily how to read this. So hopefully it makes sense once you read the rule book, but it's not something you're going to instantly, let me zoom in a little bit here, instantly be like, oh yeah, this is obviously north, move 3, symbol into yellow arrow down, 3 arrow down eyeball, moves infinite. 2 gold coins. Like, I don't know what that is at all. I wonder if is this an AI card perhaps? Or like movement and then, I don't know. I don't know what this is. It might be, but the looks of it, I want to assume it's bad guys. Like the AI the bad guys do or something like that. Because those that looks like a bad guy there, right? So perhaps that's that. This looks like treasure. This is all gear and stuff. Looks like there are different tiers. Kind of interesting. Let me go ahead and separate the decks, perhaps. Perhaps that'll make a lot more sense when we're looking through this. So let's see. We got that. We got this. Looks like they're like in different orders too. So like these. Oh wait, no. There's a sun and oh gosh dang it. So it looks like there's, 2 moons? And then the rest are suns. And it looks like the little yellow part goes opposite. But, I don't know how much that really is. And we have regular chests. And then we have scrolls that are numbered. And then fancy chest. So let's go ahead and take a look at the moon because it's this one thing. And who knows what this is? Some kind of adventure thing. Looks like there's even like weather, perhaps. Footsteps, maybe how far you can move. It looks like I am looking at it maybe upside down because this number is now the same, but now these are upside down. Interesting. Okay, and maybe not, but it looks like no, because it doesn't rain up. So they can flip two different ways, but the looks of it on the upside down side. Same thing here. This is kind of interesting, showing different like terrain types. Gosh, yeah, I don't know. It looks like when you're adventuring, perhaps this is perhaps the timeline. That matches up with that tray, and then you can move in certain areas better or worse depending on the weather and stuff like that. We have these kind of boss symbols here. It looks like there's still more decks. So we got these kind of regular beast things by the looks of it. I would think again maybe this is I wonder what that symbol is there. Who they're targeting perhaps. I wonder if this is AI perhaps. I don't know. Gosh, heck if I know. Maybe skills. And then this is quite similar to this, right? So this might be like boss thing or something like that. God, I don't know what this is. We will find out, I'm sure. We got scrolls that are numbered. Looks like they're different unlocks. So like when you're going through the mission, you can like make choices. What I want to say, grab card 1 or something like that. I bet. Regular chess. It looks like again we kind of have it's in the satchel kind of thing. We got different armor and whatnot. That's pretty close to the same thing, just colored different and flipped. Kind of interesting that it would do that. And that might be temporary, right, as they kind of work on art. It almost is better than a placeholder art, perhaps. There's some like bone tools and stuff, some potions, more armor, a fancy ring, some parchment papers. It looks like some bone keys. That's always fun. Another ring, some more potions by the looks of it. Okay, and then we have fancy. Oh, wow, these are fancy. They do have a glow. I like seeing the glow. A foil also works, just as an FYI, but I love epic items feeling epic. So a glow, if nothing else, foil even cooler, I think. But yeah, really fancy stuff going on here, like a really fancy hood. Oh, it even comes with a little mask there. I kind of dig that. I can dig that. And then some fancy necklaces and stuff. And again, I don't know what they do. And there's that. And we got big items here. This is, I guess, your gear that you have. Wow, I wasn't expecting it to be so big. So you can have like a bow staff kind of thing, or you can have a sword or a bow, daggers, axe. There's no name on these. Another sword, another bow, freaking like warhammer, another bow. These are glowing now. Boomerangs. Heck yeah, boomerangs. I dig it. Maybe like spells or skills or something. I'm not sure. It looks like there's one for each player. So this might just be something they do to kind of remind them of what they can do, perhaps. Don't know. I'm assuming these are enemies. So you got that guy. He's got some blood on his swords. FYI. Got that guy. No blood on his arrow yet. There's that symbol, by the way, again. Freaking like armored up dude. 2 of those, and then probably some ultra bad guy magician thing. So multiple, they got the same archetypes as the heroes do, right? You got the tank and the ranged guy and whatnot. Take a look at some dice. I am not going to look at wooden cubes. You guys have seen wooden cubes. If you don't, imagine a cube made of wood, colored a certain color, and you have it. So I don't want to waste your time here. Let's look at some dice. Definitely unique dice. When it comes to symbols and stuff like that, looks of it. Lots of them. Okay. Some are using stickers, some are not. That's kind of interesting. So these are already, the thumbs up, I'm assuming, is a hit. And I don't see any thumbs down. I do see some blinks. And then maybe a critical or something like that. We have 2 of those. 2 of the helmet and those. No red thumbs down or anything like that. We have, looks like some probably movement directions or agility or something like that. We got 1s and 2s. And then at least 1 special symbol. This, yep, and then blinks as well. And I have no idea what that means. Then we got this one. This one can go 2 or 3 or sometimes 1 with a different special symbol there. So an upgraded version of it. This has a bad guy symbol. I'm assuming these are bad guys. And then I don't know what the hand necessarily is. It looks like more blink on those. We got some defense die by the looks of it. Including the dreaded red X, which I'm assuming is worse than the blink, would be my guess. And we have like a target, broken target thing, and some defenses. And then these have this like swoosh symbol and then shields. Then we have that swoosh symbol on these, but with like regular BAMs, like a little explosion hits instead of a thumbs up. So several different groups of dice here, right? It's kind of interesting to have that. So anyway, that's all the dice. Looks like we got some tokens here. Quick brief look at these. Take a look, see what's up. All right, wooden for right now at least. It looks like a bad guy symbol, I'm assuming, and then just some lightning bolts. Because they're angled, even though this starts centered, it ends off uncentered, and that bothers me. Just as an FYI. Like see, this is a little bit more centered by the looks of it. It's just not quite as angled. So it looks like you have these and you flip them over and you don't know what they have. Maybe they add another die. Maybe they add movement or actions or something like that, perhaps, or a mix. Kind of interesting, or a chance at something. This could be a cool mechanic. I guess we'll have to see what that is. So we've got some gems and a few tokens. I'm not worried about showing off the tokens. They're just a dim and a bright spot, and then the crystals like you've seen them in a dozen other games. Okay, it looks like here we got kind of similar things. Again, I'm not too concerned about showing the miniature because I'm not really looking at quality here. Very interesting. This is like it gets pretty small, but then they also have some non-round ones as well, and some even with art. Kind of interesting. Looks like it's repeated, probably like some wound or something like that. Looks like there's blood there. Looks like here we have some gold coins. There is a size difference, so you kind of know what's what. The ones are fairly small, but not too small, so that's pretty good. That means that you will have to be pinching those for sure. And then finally, we have a rolling knife. We have these. These are kind of cool. These are like special shaped. We'll take a quick look at that. And then it's minis. Quick look here. So we have, looks like, so you can open the door or you can break the door. Very interesting choice there. One's probably louder than the other. Lockpicking versus beating the door down. We have, looks like a rain and sunshine thing here. This cost one more movement by the looks of it, or one more footprint in the nighttime than daytime, which you have these tokens here that you're spending on that. And then no clue what this is. Maybe it's a party token, like a party location token or something. Be interesting to see what that is as well. All right, well, that means it's ready for minis. All right, so now here, it looks like it was taped, but not very well. We got a few minis in here by the looks of it. Probably one there, and probably one here. No, a couple here at least. Two. All right, and then just padding in there. So let's go move this over here. Get our handy dandy pointing stick and open her up. Let's see what these are. Looks like they're in a baggie as well. Ooh, this is Sulk by the looks of it. It's a clear base. Interesting choice there. Alright, so it looks like I'll just be able to put them right on there. Very cool. Let me zoom in a little bit. I know you guys are interested in this. Okay, and I'm actually, let's see how well he kind of fits on there. Looks like he's a little off center, so he probably fits on this way. Nice, that actually clasps on pretty well. I wouldn't mind, like if it was that hard on each one, obviously this is a resin as opposed to, like a PVC plastic or even ABS or HIPS or anything like that. But if it was that tight, I wouldn't mind all bases being separate because it's a lot easier to paint underneath, right? It is very much, flat on the plane, so it should be fairly cheap to print because it'll just be like this, one spot on the mold. Chains look nice. The one thing you're looking for here, because the PVC plastic and the injection molding and process and all that, it does have a shrinkage, normally by a single digit percentage, maybe 5%, 3%, 6%, something along that range. It'll shrink just a little bit. That's why you want to exaggerate details when you're making like this almost looks like what they'll do is they'll make a master resin print, and then that will be how they actually tool the steel mold to then be able to fit it. So it's going to have a master, and this master will want to have exaggerated details just a little bit, so it takes that shrinkage into account, right? If it looks like perfect right now, then it'll be a little too small later on. And you have to worry about being able to take it out of the mold and, getting the plastic everywhere and all that. This looks solidly built. I mean, this will come out, I think, really, really great, even with these spikes and stuff like that. I think it'll look nice. I love the different layers, the different textures. We got the kind of the fur here, and we got the face with even like some facial line detail things, which are kind of cool, and a few little spikes here. These are pretty small. A little bit of a texture on the hammer as well. And again, that might want to be enhanced just slightly to make sure it comes out really nice. I would have liked to have the texture be down here as well. Not that it's super noticeable, but it's pretty easy to put some lines there, I feel, too. And I think they could do that just fine, especially with it just being a print like this. It doesn't need to be straight flat there. That they could put a texture there to kind of add that. I think a lot of people like to paint black there, but unless there's a ridge, it gets really hard to make that look straight, and then I think it just looks bad. Love the clasps here. The muscles are hardcore. I mean, he is muscular, he is armored up, he is ready to go. Love his boots. Very cool. And I love how he hangs a little bit off the base as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next one. This one's actually taped. Let's see what do we got here. Oh my gosh, so much stuff. Come on. Aha, this is the human guy. Let's go ahead and take him out here. Take a look at him. Again, he's got his base and everything as well. Looks like 1 foot broke. Again, these are resin, so they're going to be much more brittle and hard. Whereas when you get the final miniature, it's not going to be like that. But that is all right. Come on. I just don't want to break his sword. Okay. One of the nice things about resin is it glues back on perfectly. Okay, so I'm not too concerned about that. But yeah, he lost his foot. Okay, so looking at this, again, I am impressed. I love the detail here. It's going to come out great. I love the little line. Again, I don't know if it's the clock or what, but I dig it. The armor has some really big points here, which look nice. Again, this is flat here. I do like that they added the texture on the back here. So even looking straight on, it looks like the chainmail is hanging from the back there. It's just all flat, of course, when you tip it over. But I think that looks really nice. This line here isn't too bad, but when you paint it, it'd be hard to tell what to paint it. I think it's like a fabrical here underneath. This is how I would swing that. But that's because it doesn't match the shape this has. The layers are good. The stitching looks great. The kind of the securing wraps here. The sword is dinged up. That's unfortunate. He should take better care of his sword. The hair texture looks good. He does have ears. Love the face. That's looking great. This fur looks nice. See the inside of the shield. See if they did anything there. They did. Looks like it is actually sculpted. One with the hand and stuff like that. So that's good to see. Cape looks great. It's not too thick or anything like that. It has some nice notches in it. This fits in very well. His scabbard there. It pokes out on the other side here. The opening here looks great. Love the cinch there. You can tell how that's attached to this. Same here with the cinch there, and it creates these flows here. Very, very nice. Very nice looking mini. I like him a lot. All right, let's take a look. We'll just put him there like that. Ooh, that was a weird sound. And we'll take a look at this one. And then I think we have monsters after that. Somehow I'm missing because there should be 4 people, right? Not 3, I would think. So we'll see where this one is. Okay. This is the first guy we looked at. It looks like he has a lot of terrain on his. That's kind of interesting. Okay, so there's the base. Here he is. Let's go ahead and attach him there. Take a look. Looks like he'd be on probably, well, shoot. I don't know. I guess he could go either way. It's pretty much centered. Okay, there we are. Very cool. Again, anytime you include basing like this, you can then dynamically pose the mini to use the base. It's not just adding rocks or texture down here. He's fundamentally standing in a way he couldn't on a flat base, and I really appreciate that. It adds a lot of, or she, I apologize, adds a lot of, just an interest to the sculpt, visual interest that you'll kind of take in. Love the claws here. I love how the cape is connected here. It makes it nice and secure, which is nice. Again, very muscular. The facial expression looks really cool. Love the kind of hair, especially back here. Oh, this whole leaf thing looks great. The bow looks nice there. I do like this kind of stone thing that she's on here, especially the inlay right there. That looks very cool. The cape folded this way looks nice. It looks like she's in motion, right? Like she just kind of either grasps on here, is going to leap off, or take out her bow, or and jump, or something interesting. That is for sure. She could go into a few different poses after this. I think it's kind of always interesting to see. Okay, why is she in this pose? What motion was she going through at the time? All right, let's open this. I'm kind of surprised that there wasn't a fourth, but I mean I don't see anything else in here, so maybe they're in here. We will see, huh? All right, so let's go ahead. Oh man, all you see is white. Okay, zoom out a little bit here. Empty spot here. Okay, I don't want that many, no. Ooh, see, that broke something. Looks like it probably broke their sword there. Yeah, it's like stabbed in there. Okay, well, let's see if we have another copy of him. Take all of these out, actually. We'll see what I'm dealing with here. Try to be a little bit more careful. Minus the big one. Okay. Is there another guy like that? Yes, this guy's the same character, so we'll bring him out. I'll have to glue him together. There's another one, looks like right here as well. It's the problem with foam. Anytime you get foam storage, keep that in mind. That these can just go right into the foam, and then when you lift out, it just pops open. Okay, so these are super glued on these tiny little bases for now. Again, pretty single cast, right, when it comes to the design. So these shouldn't cost them too much to make. And instead, they can typically just focus on sculpt. Speaking of which, they need to tighten up that right there. It's a little soft there. So I'd like to see that touched up a little bit. Seeing here, it's a little soft here. These look final production plastic, to be honest. You can tell the cable's already thickened up. It's not plastic though, because these bubbles right here tell me that's actually resin, and probably poured resin, I would think. Well, maybe not. Actually, looking at this, yeah, I'm not sure. It's very hard, kind of like a resin. But if it was done, I think, in a silicone mold and poured. And the reason I think that is because there is a mold line here, right? So it wasn't like 3D printed or anything like that. And a lot of times resin, especially when you pour it in, will have these little tiny bubbles like that. As you pour it in, introduces it. Unless you put it in a vacuum chamber or just really good at pouring it and stirring and stuff like that, it can be very hard to avoid bubbles. And see, there's a little bit more of a mold line here. So yeah, a little touch up, and almost dropped him in a few parts. I love his face. By the way, this looks kind of like the symbol, doesn't it? Love the hood. I love the negative space here. That looks nice. Swords look good. They're not too thick. They're about as thick as I'd like it. This is a little thick. I'd like to see that trimmed down a little bit personally, especially because you see the side of it here and it's not that thick. And so it kind of makes it a little silly when it's like, just curve that in a little bit more. So maybe half that thickness. I think it'll be just fine. Love the layers. Love the chainmail and stuff. Painting, it would be very cool. Nice defined belt buckle there. The connected sword here. It would be nice to get this a little bit crisper. However, this is nice and secure. Same with this. This actually isn't too bad either. So it goes really good there. All right, let's see what else we got. We got this person here. Okay, so I love the act of grabbing the arrows out of the quiver. This is proving how difficult it would be if the quiver was actually up here as opposed to here, because he has to like lift all the way up here and then come down, which normally isn't possible. But it can work, especially if this is loose and can kind of turn a little bit. The bow's cool. I love the kind of fanciness of the bow. Again, some great texture differences there. We got a little bit of flash still from the molding process. This is still quite thick. I'd like to see that thinned out. That's very thick. This looks great though. I actually like that. Love the quivers there. I think that looks good. There is perhaps a little bit of negative space right here, but it's just enough to where you can paint it as like the fur or part of the quiver or something like that. I think you'll be fine. Part of the arrow. I apologize. Love the flow of the texture though. Love the kind of like leather armor that they're kind of wearing there. I think it looks really nice. And again, this is this is probably about as thick I would have wanted. Just that seems really thick to me. So again, lowering that a little bit, but otherwise, because see, I mean, it can be this skinny. It works, right? yeah, I really like the pose of it. And again, single cast, but a dynamic single cast. I love how he's hunched over a little bit, right? Knees bent as he goes, and he's probably going to draw that back and then shoot it. I think that'll look cool. All right, what else we got here? We got a few others. We got these guys here. Let's take a look. All right, at Mr. Shield guy here. This is the other kind of enemy we saw. The shield is interesting because it like flexes in, which is kind of odd. This is very flat and kind of melts into the side of the foot. I'd like to see that defined a bit more. For sure. The texture on everything, that was great. I mean, it looks really nice when it comes to that. Oh, it came off this mini. Go back on. Oh, this is kind of cool. So, see, this one has a not circle part, right? So you put them on correctly. I like that. That's kind of cool. All right. There is a little bit of a gap issue here as well that needs to be resolved. The weapon, very nice. A good thickness as well, not too skinny to where it's going to be bending everywhere, but not too thick to be obnoxious. Perhaps a little bit of texture, like just a little divot in here to have this be a rim would be nice. And the inside of the shield has this little part right here. It's kind of interesting. Just adds a little bit of difference there. And again, it gets a little melty here. I'd like to see that defined. Love the fabric though. They've done great on all of the fabric when it comes to just how it would be cinched underneath the armor and kind of how it would kind of connect to everything there. So I really like that. And obviously the helmet and everything is super cool as well. So those are the three types of enemies. There is whatever this guy is doing. It looks like there's a piece that may have fallen off. We will see. Oh, it's a like a hawk or something like that. Look at this. Love the little hawk guy here. He looks cool. It looks like he fits right on the back of this guy, which is interesting. Kind of like probably right there or right, I don't know, somewhere. I'll figure it out. Either way, he's like over top of him, which is very cool. He's got like these wing things, which are kind of neat. And boomerangs. Love the boomerangs. I got nobody else using boomerangs. This is giant dude too. Like look at the difference. And that's not even like the dwarf guy. Oh, sorry about that. Whoopsies. Like here's the dwarf guy. I mean, it's just, I mean, his hammer is huge, but this guy's really tall, standing on some rocks, so we got a little bit of a dynamic pose. Again, I'd like to see this defined better, perhaps with a ridge around here. Love, again, the leather armor. They're all, like, none of them are like plate mail. Like the dwarf is about as close as you can get to that. A lot of different travel satchels and rope and stuff like that. I love seeing rope and like little bags and flasks and stuff like that because it's like these guys are on an adventure and they always look like they're like geared up for just battle. I like the in-between state there that these kind of guys are really doing. It's a little muddy here. I'm not quite sure what I'm looking at here, so that needs to be, I think, cleaned up a little bit there. Again, love the boomerangs. This is a separate piece right here. It's sculpted very well, and with this overhang here, that looks very nice. Facial details again look very cool. I like the kind of scales on the head. These boomerangs are freaking sweet. There's no doubt about that. And he's got a bird. All right, let's look at some of these. It's interesting that he's gray. So I don't know what's going on there. Maybe he's not a good guy. I don't know. Just see it. Okay, that's another one of him. Let's see what this wizard person is. Wow. Okay. Well, there's that. Again, quite flat, right? Just a single mold on this sucker. That being said, my goodness, they took that to extreme. Again, like to see that skinnied up a little bit. You can see it's skinny here, but for the most part, I mean, there's a little bit of kind of an odd flatness there, but either way, you see how it tapers, right? It's pretty thick, but it tapers, and then it just doesn't taper here. Like bring that in a little bit. I would like to see that. Again, love the fabric work here. Love the inlay here. This is etched on top. I actually prefer it to be inlaid. It's easier to paint if it's in. On when it's above like this, you have to paint the sides. It's very hard as a painter. It's much easier to paint something impressed into it than raised up. So if they care, I would like to see that. I think it'd be cool. Love again the break here. Now this flame, while very cool in it, I think it's ethereal kind of. Let me actually look at the art real quick because it's connected. My worry is that if this is fire, it's connected like to his fabric. So unless he has like a fire retardant cape, he's catching himself on fire. So let me take a look. It is ethereal. It's not. It's like ghost magic crap, right? This will look great, by the way. Great idea. It's a little dark, but the red with the green will look fantastic. They're complementary. They look great together. They got the OSL already kind of there. You can match it with the art. I appreciate that. And again, it matches the sculpt one for one, even the slight turn of the head. So you notice here, they're not looking straight out at you. There's little things like that you can do to really make something interesting. Framing the miniature by having this kind of frame them, very cool. I love how their feet kind of go into this, so they're literally almost coming out of this. Very, very cool. Love the basing. This guy is going to look freaking sweet. No doubt about it. Very cool. Love it. Love all the straps. Just a different design for each of them. And guys, really, I think that's it. That's everything. So, yeah, go ahead and there will be a link to the Kickstarter in the description down below. Go ahead and check that out. I will be doing a review, so it won't just be this unboxing. I'll let you guys know exactly what I think about all these symbols, how the game plays, how fun it is. And, yeah, until then, I will talk to you guys again really soon. Have a great rest of your day. Bye, guys.